Hello and thanks for watching. My name is Mike and I'm your host on this blockchain stream. This is Coffee Talk, hosted on LeoFinance exclusively. This is the only place that I post this show, and it's for hivers, people like you, but also people on YouTube looking for great content about Hive, about Bitcoin. I talk about a bunch of things on this show. Sometimes I stream the live markets, watching the price of Bitcoin go up and down. Sometimes I talk about different projects. The last month I've been looking closely at various tokens, and there's no point in me just live streaming all of it. But when I go live, I want you to participate in the conversation. I'd like you to leave a comment on LeoFinance. I'd like to give me your upvotes. I'd like you to leave comments on the YouTube videos. And I'd like you to join me on the show. There's a Discord link you can find, and you can join me right now in the Hive Coffee chat. You can see here I'm streaming live on LeoFinance right now, but I have a couple important things that I want to talk about this episode. It's not going to go on for too long like some do. I want to talk about proposals. Now, there's 3 proposals I'm going to look at right here, and if you could click on this and make sure you give it your vote, that would be fantastic. Now, the first one here is a proposal by Howo, and we got to get it up to 100%. This is very important. Right now, this proposal is only partially funded. Oh, since I checked earlier, looks like we've hit 100%, so that's fantastic. You can still click support if you think this is a great idea, but it looks like we've hit 100% support on this, which means that Howo will get the funding of $275 Hive per day for the next year to work on core development. So I'm going to just read this real quick here. His recap of the year, things he's been working on. You know, he was involved in the birth of the chain. He helped with parts of the soft fork and the hard fork that led to the birth of Hive. And they decided to build things out in a decentralized way. So it was important to try to sync this up. And what they've done is they've had some core development meetings. And you can actually head on over to YouTube and you can watch every single one of the core development meetings, and you can catch up on all of this. So there's a couple things that he's going to be working on. You know, there's the Hive dollar issue that's been discussed extensively. And in preparation for Hard Fork 25, there are some things that he's been working on. RC delegations, new features in Hard Fork 25 like recurring transfers. That's a really cool idea. Being able to update the end date of a proposal, that looks like an important little fix there. Some other issues. New features for communities. He's been working on communities, and it looks like we might have some new features rolling out for that. And supporting proposals like this literally funds the development of the chain. So this is very, very important, and I hope that you'll take the time to read through the proposals that are on here. Now, the next one, I think I have it open here. This one's by Cly, and it's called Bringing Decentralized Smart Contracts EVM Using Hive. Okay, so I'm going to read this because this is a great idea, and I wanted to come back and look at it a little bit closer, but this proposal is only at 70%, so we need everyone, all hands on deck, to come here and support Proposal 164. Born partly out of the necessity to decentralize the lending contracts on the upcoming Hive Loans project, and also, in part, finding inspiration to do further research after seeing the still somewhat ridiculously valued centralized EVM instance run in the Binance exchange reach over $200 per token in value, the idea to create the Hive network's very own properly decentralized and widely distributed version of the Ethereum virtual machine stack was decided upon as a worthy project. This proposal aims to spread the word about the work to be done on this project, as well as seek funding from the Decentralized Hive Fund in order to move ahead quickly to get this sidechain built, tested, and deployed in the span of 3 months or less, permitting development and testing phases aren't met with setbacks. The whole idea, to create a Hive user mineable, fully decentralized, industry standard EVM stack into the ecosystem, shifted from a quick activating idea into an absolutely incredible amount of excitement about it being possible after a ton of reading up on the subject, and personally beginning to reverse engineer and dive into the latest Ethereum implementations. So Cly writes, "This post is a culmination of prior research into how the technical side of Ethereum works, a substantial amount of recently conducted research regarding feasibility, and a pretty decent, albeit fulfilling, amount of hands-on research on a handful of prospective donor Ethereum implementations rendered down via code editing, local compiling of custom Ethereum virtual machine versions, and its necessary supporting libraries, ending up resulting in my thoughts and focus converging on the undeniable fact that a truly decentralized, community-operated Ethereum virtual machine, capable sidechain that throws away the lazy clone and rebrand model used in other chains, utilizes Hive as its base and gas fee currency, much how Ethereum and Binance Code use ETH and BNB respectively, ending up running across my mind, and the idea instantly lit up brain. To accomplish the feat of bringing a properly decentralized EVM stack to Hive, the rapid development of a heavily modified custom Hive-based version of the EVM executable. The initial core team behind this project development are internationally based duo consisting of LeoFinance and Cly, both of which are established Hive witnesses with a collective sum of over 25 years of software engineering experience between them. By deploying a combination of reverse engineering blended with the developers' different programming language specifications and knowledge of different systems and network architectures. Now, this post I'm reading here was written by Cly. He's asking for 120 Hive dollars per day for the next 60 days. Help him get his proposal up to 100% support by visiting Proposal 164, linked in the post on LeoFinance. So I'm going to get back to it. Initially, my own personal development efforts will be pivoted towards finishing off the Hive Loans project, which aims to launch mid-April publicly, albeit not running on the HSC at launch. Then pivot to working on this project full-time alongside LeoFinance and anyone else who decides to hop on board the development push. Goal is to have at least one developer working on this full-time at any given day, and the funding this proposal provides allows for payments to be made to anyone actively helping to develop the HSC, and is not limited to the core development duo but anyone assisting. It's very likely we'll have a fair number of developers from within our community come together to make this project a reality. While focusing on finishing up and testing the Hive Loans project, I personally won't be paying myself out of this proposal's daily allowance. The idea behind being inclusive and allowing other developers to contribute to this proposal is that we'll end up paying a decent number of developers within the ecosystem for their efforts as they either hop on board with the development or end up subcontracting out under the project in order to implement or supply elements within development. So, he wants to leverage the community and the user's diverse skill sets. Please come in here and fully read this proposal. It's extremely important, and I think it has a lot of potential. In conclusion, we as a community would be foolish not to be immediately moving towards doing everything possible to support this obvious upgrade to our blockchain functionality. This project will hopefully act as a cornerstone in separating us from other graphene-based blockchains out there in terms of functionality, but also as a means of meeting an obvious demand in the market with something that benefits all Hive holders as a whole. It's going to take more than a little bit of money and a room full of developers for this to work through, and the entire community's involvement will exponentially increase the chances of the HSC project catapulting the Hive blockchain into the ranks of top 10 or top 5 market cap coins. But in order for this to happen, anyone and everyone who has an interest in seeing Hive grow needs to be doing their part, be it coding new smart contracts on the future chain, marketing the HSC to people, bitching on Twitter about Ethereum gas prices, or simply casting a vote on this proposal and checking in from time to time. There are tons and tons of ways you can support this and future Hive projects. Ultimately, it's up to us as the community to steer the ship where we would like to go. Effectively, any user who has the potential to be a leader of the Hive in their own ways, and putting this all together is my way of saying, I believe in Hive, let's create a prosperous future for it. So come in here, read the whole proposal. Please click support, as you see I have done already. And moving on, the next story we're going to look at was by block trades, and this is a very interesting idea here. So during recent discussions, the Real Wolf, suggested that Hive should have a staking mechanism for mostly liquid funds. Currently, Hive only provides staking rewards for vested Hive Power, and it takes 13 weeks to fully unstake Hive Power. His comment was mostly made in the context of an argument for lowering the unstaking time for Hive Power, but the discussion in this case took a turn towards another idea that's been around for a while. During the discussion, Smooth pointed out that the Hive already has a liquid staking mechanism, Hive Dollars, which pay an interest rate set by the median value voted on by witnesses. But currently, Hive Dollars pay a relatively low interest rate of 3%, low relative to other crypto staking opportunities, so it's not particularly competitive staking right now. It's been suggested that this interest rate should be increasing to something more substantial, like 10 to 20%, once the upside or the upward side of the peg for HBD has been stabilized. Hard Fork 25 includes a Hive to HBD conversion operation that is designed to stabilize the upward side of the peg. Using savings accounts as the staking mechanism for HBD. So this was written by Block Trades, and I'm reading this post that he made just recently, proposal to make HBD interest rate payable only to savings accounts. And I'm reading this because I think this is very important. Not everyone necessarily has time to read it themselves, but you should. If you're going to read anything today, make sure you read these 3 proposals. And so we continue. To make staking of Hive Dollars more familiar to the average cryptocurrency investor, it seems likely that it would make sense to make a change to the current interest payment mechanism. Instead of all Hive Dollars receiving interest, only HBD and savings accounts would receive interest. In this case, there would be a clear staking and unstaking mechanism, moving the Hive Dollars in and out of the user's savings. And in the unstaking time is relatively short, just 3 days. So there's a couple of other important benefits to this proposal change. It encourages the movement of Hive Dollars from exchanges to wallets, savings accounts, which lowers the risk profile for users. Exchanges won't be receiving interest payments just for holding their customers' HBD in custody, unless the exchange puts it into a savings account, of course, but in that case it seems likely they would have to offer some staking reward as part of such a change in order to avoid looking bad in the eyes of customers. And not having to pay interest to every HBD holder means that the interest payments can be concentrated on the stakers without necessarily increasing the overall amount of interest being paid. This proposed change is also not a new idea. It's been discussed in the past, on and off-chain, for a long time. And to my knowledge, the idea has generally always received positive reception for the participants in the discussions. As the change seems pretty simple and so far only has supporters, I decided to make this post to propose including this change into Hard Fork 25, since Hard Fork 25 will have the prerequisite stabilization of the peg for HBD that can make this staking mechanism potentially attractive. Block Trades goes on to write, the costs of the proposed change. As planned, the change to only pay HBD interest savings accounts is relatively straightforward, and I'm estimating it can be completed in about 2 days, including allowing time for creating tests for the new behavior. So the implementation cost is very low. Today was the date for the planned code freeze for Hard Fork 25, so including this change would push the code freeze date into early next week. But there was nothing magical about today's date for the code freeze. I think it's just a small cost to push the code freeze date into next week. Computationally, Block Trades doesn't expect any increases in CPU or memory usages as a result of the change. In fact, it's possible it will be negligibly faster than it was before to compute interest payments. Okay, so this is where we're looking for feedback, and I'd like for you to come over here to Block Trades post. Please leave a comment, reread this. If there's any parts that you're confused about, ask some questions. It looks like we have about 808 people supporting this post, so make sure you come on here and you vote for this. There is not an official proposal attached to this post, but come in here and read some of Block Trade's recent content. He's got some great posts, and you can read more about where this discussion has come from, previous updates on the work that they're doing to secure and develop this incredible blockchain that we have here called Hive. And I hope that you're using the LeoFinance front end, because LeoFinance is a fantastic newspaper that you can open up and you can read all about crypto. Hey, you don't know very much? That's totally fine. You can come here, you can sign up for an account, and then you can read. You can read all kinds of stuff. You can learn about crypto, about Bitcoin, about Ethereum. If you want to read about DeFi or you want to read about stocks, there are authors on here who write about stock information. So if you're curious what's going on in that world, we have curated content that's already been read and voted on by other users. We've got 261 people here who say that this is a great article. Another 115 enjoy this article about the stock symbol for Coinbase. Every morning you can make yourself some coffee and you can sit down and you can read and curate some of the best content online. And if you have a story you'd like to share, why not post it on LeoFinance before you share it to Facebook? If you'd like to talk about the things that you've been doing in markets and finance, we would love to hear what you have to say. And know that your content is going to be valued and appreciated. If you put the time and effort into composing your best ideas, into your proof of brain, the community is going to see that. And you're going to get upvotes from all sorts of users. You know, there's not really any other place that I would want to build my website in 2021. All you have to do is copy your HTML from your web page, make a new account on Hive, and make your first post and paste your HTML. Now you might need to edit some things, but for the most part, that's all you need to do. Forward your domain name to your Hive page, or you could create a community. Create a community, forward your domain to the community. You don't even have to attract users to your website now because the user base already exists. And people can sign up on your website. Users are going to leave comments for you. Users are going to give you feedback. And you're going to be able to discover new things every day. So I hope that you learned something new today. Make sure you check out Proposal 167, which has now been funded. Proposal 164, which is at about 70% funded. And make sure you give feedback on this proposed upgrade to the Hive dollar mechanics that is going to be wrapped up inside Hard Fork 25, which is an upgrade to the entire chain. So I want you to know that there are so many cool things to look forward to here on Hive. And you know, you might buy some Bitcoin and you might sit on it You might hold it. You might pretend you don't have it for a long time. But you could put as little as $30 in a Hive account. And you can start putting that crypto to work. Use it as fuel to power your Hive account. You're going to earn for creating great content, and you're going to earn for curating great content. I play a little game called Leo Ball. That's what this wheel is here on the bottom screen. I'll put my display capture down a step, and you can see the Leo Ball. The Leo Ball is a prize that I give away. Every week I post a new Leo Ball. Sometimes I post more than one. But half the author rewards in Leo will be paid out to one lucky winner who comments Leo Ball on this post and leaves me a comment. And like I said, if you leave a link to your most recent post on one of my Hive Coffee live posts, I will read your story on the show. And hey, maybe you'll get a few more eyes on your story. Maybe you'll get a few more clicks. Whatever helps. Make sure you click on Leo Ball. Leo Ball number 11 is active right now, and it's active for 5 more days. It looks like it's up to 28 cents. So half of the Leo author rewards will be paid out to one lucky winner. This is a snapshot from previous Leo Ball prizes. So make sure you leave a Leo Ball, just like Renegade Trader just did. Fantastic. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. It is Friday night. Friday, April 16th. Dogecoin is through the roof. It's like 35 cents right now. It's absolutely crazy. Cryptocurrency is $2 trillion. Let's just pop on over to the market page for a moment. All the music you hear on Hive Coffee is available under Creative Commons, royalty-free, but it's composed by Antis Instrumentals. So here you'll see we have Bitcoin trading at $61,787. That's down a little bit from yesterday, but still holding strong. If you're not buying Bitcoin at 61,000, you're going to regret it. I mean, do you think it's going to drop to $10,000 again? I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. 51,000 was the dip before. It's only $10,000 above that. So, regardless of what the dollar price of Bitcoin is, make sure that you're accumulating Bitcoin regularly, just like you buy a silver coin once a week. That cost me $40 this week. So why not think about putting $40 into Bitcoin every week? Cost average over 53 weeks. Buying is better than not buying. How much money have you ate this week? I think about the cost of a cheeseburger. And I think about the cost of Bitcoin. And I think about the relative values almost all the time. That's just how my brain works. I'm posting about the price of coffee at Leo. I'm thinking, hey, I wonder if I could pay for my coffee today in Hive. I would love to be able to do that. So I'm always thinking about, what are the use cases of these currencies, these cryptos? What are things that you can do with Bitcoin, for example? Or what can you do with Dogecoin? Well, I saw an article the other day, something about a football team accepting Dogecoin. That's pretty cool. Well, there's a lot of people out there who've just struck it rich because they bought a bunch of Dogecoin when it was under a penny or under a nickel. And I think for many people, this is their first rally. This may be the first time they bought cryptocurrency, but they bought Dogecoin because it looked fun. And now it's up over 1,000%. Well, up 100% the last few days. You get that excitement, you get that feeling. And here on Hive, we've probably all felt that feeling the first time we saw Hive hit 20 cents, or 40 cents, or 60 cents. And this is just the beginning. Is Hive the next Dogecoin? When people realize how cool this project is, we're going to see some serious fireworks. And part of getting there, in my opinion, we have to take personal responsibility for this. If each of us helps one person every month sign up for Hive and help them get some Hive power, help them get their account set up, make sure they understand how to power up Hive, get them to make a few posts. If we all do this, if we all just help 12 people over the next year, and that's just one a month, then we're going to have 100,000 new people on Hive. And if they all do the same, or if we continue to just help one new person every month, that's how these things grow. And increasing user adoption should be easier than ever. You can just talk about Splinterlands, get people to play Splinterlands. People like playing games? Hey, why not show them how to use D-City? Perhaps they like posting pictures of their food on social media. Well, hey, anybody who likes putting pictures of their meals on the internet for people to see, you can post in the foodies community, and you can earn foodie tokens. If you post about natural medicine, how many people do you know who through this pandemic have started taking their yoga classes much more seriously, even though they have to do it from home? There's a lot of people who do this. So people who are posting natural medicine related subjects from homesteading, botany, plant medicine, meditation, you can help find just a couple friends who post about those kind of things and introduce them to the natural medicine community. Use the front end, naturalmedicine.io. There is something for everyone on Hive, and you don't have to do it all, but you should get started. And I hope that you are taking this seriously in 2021. With Bitcoin prices at 61,895, it's hard not to take it seriously. I have more people than ever talking about Bitcoin, asking me questions about Bitcoin. I was at the Bitcoin ATM and had just barely finished, and some other younger people came on in, and they were telling me how great of an opportunity it is. So the kids know, the billionaires know, you know. What are you going to do in 2021 differently than you did in 2020? Leave some comments below. I really want this to be interactive. I would love to have you on the show. You can join me in the Hive Coffee Discord chat, and we can have a discussion about whatever project it is that excites you the most. What's your favorite community? What's your favorite token? What's the best article that you've read this month? What are your goals? Leo is trading at approximately 75 cents US. 1.299 Hive. Volume's low today. Most of today's volume has actually been in Doge swap because of course Doge is through the roof. 35 cents you see there. Dark energy crystals are a penny, so 0.001. $5,000 worth of volume, $2,679. of volume in Leo. And Litecoin swap was the biggest one yesterday with $10,000 of volume. Today it's only 2,329. Bitcoin is on a tear. Don't miss this opportunity to accumulate more Bitcoin. Knowing what you know now, can you risk not increasing the amount of Bitcoin that you have? 61,999. Is it going higher, or is it going to drop like a rock? I'm not worried. Oh, 62,000! Woo! Well, that was an all-time. That would have been an all-time high 2 months ago. And we're under again. 61,968. And before I go, I'm going to take a quick look at Cub for you. We're just under $20 million in locked value across all the farms and pools. $6,484,445 are in Cub. 222,019 Cub tokens have been burned. And there's only 1.7 million Cub tokens. That's all there is. Bitcoin's over 62,000 again. So there's the Cub chart. $3.67 is what that looks like. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you vote on those proposals and leave some feedback for block trades. Have a great weekend, everybody.